Every fall for the past 50 years, young people have come here to learn about the world and discover themselves.
The Ireton experience was life-changing. I wouldn't be where I am today without the time I had at BI.
I really enjoyed coming to school every day because of my classmates, because of my teachers and the priests who are here.
Every person is connected to every other person because we're all created in God's image. That's what I learned here.
It was in 1964 that a new Catholic high school opened its doors to serve the parishes of Alexandria, Virginia. Named for Bishop Peter Ireton of the Richmond Diocese, the school was administered by the Oblates of St. Francis de Sales, who brought scholarship, experience, and a gentle spirit to their mission. First principal, Father Joseph McKay, along with devoted religious and lay teachers, helped each student to prepare for life and grow closer to God. Those first students arrived without the benefit of upperclassmen to convey school traditions, so along with their teachers, they created them.
We came into a school that was barely built. During that week, we also were allowed to choose the colors of the school, and the colors were maroon and gold, not the cardinal red and gold as it is that became now the colors. The students chose Marauders, okay, as far as the mascot that was the name of the school. The next day we were informed by Father Dean that Marauders was not a very Christian name, so we were the Cardinals.
It was all boys, but that was unique. That was another unique part of coming to school here, because we were treated like young men. We were expected to behave in the way of St. Francis de Sales. We were expected to work hard, and we played hard too.
Maybe in the second or third graduation, they had a dinner for us over in the Oblate House before the graduation, and they served everybody Madeira wine. Now, if you know anything, if you're a wine drinker, Madeira wine is just about a 12%. So we're over there in a nice air-conditioned faculty house, and we came out and hit that wall of heat, and it was like everybody just kind of floated into the auditorium.
The 1970s was a decade of innovation and curricular experimentation at Bishop Ireton. With a mandate from the diocese to update their methods, the school administration tried a new modular approach to learning, based on the needs and abilities of each student.
So the Oblates instituted a program they called Education by Appointment, EA for short. No classes, or almost no classes, were scheduled with the exception of gym and language lab.
And the whole idea there was to treat each kid who needed a different amount of time or a different style of education, a way to do that. You had them in little groups, and they worked out their ideas with the teacher.
It was an unparalleled opportunity to get to know teachers in a different way.
Over time that had to be modified. It was too loose for some kids and too challenging for others. But the idea that flexibility was always a sort of a key at Ireton.
Returning to a more traditional class structure was just one of the challenges that faced Father William Walsh when he took the helm as principal in 1979.
When Bill Walsh was interviewed by the bishop told him that this would be Bishop Ireton's last year. This was like 1978.
With a renewed emphasis on discipline, fundraising, athletics, and academic excellence, Father Walsh changed the momentum at Bishop Ireton.
I think as somebody who graduated in 1984 that I have a real kinship with and affection for the men who came before me, the guys that I've met over the years who are graduates from the 70s. I still feel the same bond of friendship that I have with my own classmates with them because we have the same school spirit.
In 1990, nearby St. Mary's Academy, an all-girls school, closed after 120 years, and its students found a new home at Bishop Ireton. For faculty and students, it was a whole new world.
The fact that they were closing with no idea of where the girls would go and what would happen to the St. Mary's girls, fortunately, Bishop Ireton stepped right up and they said, "We're going to take care of you."
I remember being nervous coming into Ireton for the first few days. The biggest memory is getting my Ireton badge, an ID badge, which at St. Mary's, of course, I don't think we had. So it was something simple and little, but the transition between our uniforms and becoming an Ireton Cardinal was exciting.
Interesting, the first few weeks there with the gentleman, one of the kids was saying to the other, you know, I have to take a shower every day now. The boys couldn't be as gross as they could be.
We figured that if coeducation was going to be successful, we would see this in the way the students treated each other at lunchtime. I'm delighted to say that we all gave a very large collective sigh of relief when all the kids sat together and it looked like they'd been doing that forever.
With the addition of young women, Bishop Ireton's enrollment nearly doubled, and the school building simply wasn't big enough.
So I went to Bishop Keating and I said, Bishop, what do you want me to do? You know, it's your school. So he said, we'll build.
The $6 million expansion project brought the school into the 21st century with a new wing of classrooms and a state-of-the-art auditorium. But if you're looking for the heart of Bishop Ireton, don't look to the bricks and tile and glass. Look here.
Most of my faculty, as I went through Bishop Ireton, were oblates, and they left an indelible mark of character and service, which has carried with me for my adult life and close to now 20 years of service teaching.
We had wonderful priests who just were, I would describe them as holy men. They were generous, they were happy, they enjoyed what they were doing as priests. You know, they were our teachers, but maybe even more importantly than that, they just gave us a good example of holiness.
I think that the oblates provided a model of Christ that you would see in each classroom, uniquely individual to each teacher.
I was inspired greatly by the oblates. I had never been in a Catholic school, much less gone to one or taught in one, and it was a whole new experience for me.
The last of the oblate principals, Father Matthew Hilliard, left Bishop Ireton in 2008. And the school's first lay principal, Timothy Hamer, would ensure that the oblate influence would remain strong.
We continue a relationship with them, and we invite them to come to our campus on various occasions during the year. And that lived connection to that religious order gives us a connection to our roots of our school, and their spirit continues to enliven the community.
As Bishop Ireton celebrates its 50th anniversary, the effects of their time spent on Cambridge Road ripples through the lives of its alumni.
Ireton cared for me as a whole person. The whole motto and the mission of live Jesus became real and was really lived here, but I've understood it more now as an adult.
My participating in daily Mass for 4 years at Bishop Ireton had a great influence on my becoming a priest.
Ireton let me figure out how I wanted to shape the world, gave me the tools to do that, and gave me a really good jump start to begin my future.
Throughout it all, that motto of advance always has been in the back of my mind and has guided me in just about every decision I've ever made.
As Bishop Ireton honors its past and celebrates its present, its mission remains the promise and potential of its students.
Come to Bishop Ireton and walk through the halls, and the unique thing you see is our kids are honestly happy. It says something about our teachers, it says something about our school, it says something about the philosophy that guides this school. I think the future is pretty bright, just looking at that.
As we celebrate and we look forward with confidence and with hope, using our talents to make this high school a luminous place where people will be formed and then sent forth with hearts on fire to proclaim and to live Jesus.